This is going to be a demo of making a tonal adjustment, and this will be a tonal adjustment using levels. You can also do brightness and contrast. There are quite a few different things under colors you can use. Levels is located under levels. You can see there are color balance, hue saturation, colorize, cool things like threshold and curves and posterize and desaturate. And I would like for you guys to, after you see this demo, to go try out some images that need to have some color adjustments and check out a bunch of these different ways to do that. Alright, so I've opened up an image of an iris in a pot, and it looks like the lighting was just a little bit too dim, too dark, and it needs to be brightened up a little bit. I'm going to go up, first things first, File, Save As, and we're going to make it a native file. I'll name it RA-GLAS-levels, since that's what I'm using. Version 1 in this case. And I'm going to click Save. Alright, now all we have to do is make sure our panel is out. First thing I want to do is have my layers panel out, and then I'm going to open up levels. So one thing I want to do in my layers panel, just to give me a backup, is right now I have at the background layer our one image, and I'm going to click on the bottom icon where it says create a duplicate of the layer, and I have. Now I have two duplicate layers. I don't want to use the background layer. I'm going to close the visibility eye on the background layer, and that leaves the second layer as my iris, and I can even write iris in my description for that layer. Alright, now I'm going to go up and I will look under colors, and let's open up levels, which opens up a histogram. And this is in chapter 3. You can read through the section on histograms. Histograms allow you to change separately three things: highlights, midtones, and shadows. So on the left hand side are the shadows. Here's the slider in the middle for midtones, and here's the slider on the top side for highlights. Now, first thing, what you want to do is make sure your sliders are pulled into either edge. I see that there's a lot of space here at the top to where actually the highlights start. So I'm going to bring the highlight slider all the way down to where the edge is. Watch what happens to the image. Big change. Sometimes you have to pull in the slider on the left and in on the right. In this case, we just had to pull in the slider on the right. And it actually brought the midtones down to the middle of the range, and you actually could fiddle with that a little bit. You could lower it or raise up the in-between, the midtones a little bit. And then we're going to say OK. So that has made a vast improvement on this one image. I'm going to open up another image. And this was an image of, guess what? My dog Lily. Let me click on her again. And let me close that for a second. Here's my image. I'm going to do the same thing I did. I want to save it as a GIMP file. And I'm going to do my naming convention. Levels dash version 2. And I'll put in Lily, another name. But So now I'm going to click Save. I want to save her in Photos and click Save. Alright, so if I open up, you can look at it and you can actually see that it is a little on the dark side. So I want to see what levels can do. I'll go back up to color. I will choose, you know what I forgot to do is the layers panel. There it is. Let me duplicate that. Let me, close the visibility eyeball on the lower one. And I'm going to call this Lily. So I named it. Alright, so now I've selected the layer I'm working on. Click on my image. And now I'm going to open up under color levels. And one more time, I need to move the slider down just slightly on the highlights down to where it, yeah, is that better or worse? I think that's better. I might bring it down a little bit more. Yep, I like that better. And maybe bring up the bottom just a smidge. There we go. All right, so does that look better? Indeed it does. Now I also might want to do something else, so I'm going to close levels. I'll say OK to levels, and I could go up to color and I can do brightness and contrast, and I can make it a little brighter with brightness and contrast. I lowered it. Let's raise it up. Yep, let's raise it up a little more to 11. Okay, and maybe do a little bit of contrast on it. Okay, let's bring brightness up just a little bit more. All right, so that is a little bit better, quite a bit better than the original. If I turn off the visibility eye, let's compare it to the original. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Hang on a second. And just turn the eye on, turn that one off. Yeah, that was the before, and that is the after. Quite a nice change. All right, levels is one of those first 6 things that you need to do to make color adjustments in almost any image. You need to check it from the very beginning. Make sure brightness and contrast are working and look good, and make sure that levels have been adjusted as needed. Okay. All right, that's it for levels. Now you can output it however you need it, as a JPEG, or go on to make further edits.